A very good afternoon. You're watching Times Now Live with me, Siddharth Talia. We'll turn our attention immediately to the grisly murder that has shocked the national capital. It's a posh area in the Kailash Hills area of Delhi, which turned into a center of a shocking murder investigation after a 22-year-old woman who's the daughter of an IRS officer, and she also was an IIT graduate. She was found dead inside her residence on Wednesday morning. She had been alone in her study room on the terrace preparing for her UPSC preliminary exam while her parents were out for their routine gym visit early in the morning. A former domestic help who was earlier employed in the same household entered the residence in the early hours of the day. That entry marked the beginning of a crime that would later be reconstructed minute by minute through CCTV as well as forensic evidence that the Delhi police has now managed to gather and accumulate. Now, Times Now brings certain exclusive details of the chilling murder and the investigation that has now followed. Now, let's in fact take you through what exactly transpired. Now, this is the routine that we're speaking of. The former help very much knew the family's routine. This was something that began at 6:30 a.m. when the parents of the deceased left for the gym using, in fact, they would go every morning, and the criminal in this particular case was very much familiar with their daily routine. He used a hidden spare key and entered the premises at approximately 6:39 in the morning. Thereafter, of course, once he entered the premises, he demanded money. The victim in this particular case resisted, and the killer subsequently strangled her with the wire of a phone charger. She was also brutally assaulted. She was hit with objects and left completely unconscious. And at that particular time, she was assaulted by the criminal. Thereafter, the criminal proceeds to loot the premises. He proceeds towards the locker, and the body of the woman is dragged across floors. The victim's fingerprints are actually used to break open the locker, and the criminal ends up stealing as much as 2 lakh worth of cash as well as jewelry. Thereafter, of course, he engages in a cover-up as well as an escape. He changes his blood-stained clothes. He packs stolen items that have been left behind. And then, of course, he leaves the premises by 7:22 a.m. in the morning. So this is a saga that unfolds over a duration of approximately 50-odd minutes. Now, investigators have managed to reconstruct a precise timeline of the incident inside the Kailash Hills residence, showing the entire crime that unfolded within a tightly compressed 60-minute window. Entry into that house had been confirmed at 6:28 a.m. in the morning using a spare key. We've told you how he got access to that spare key. And within a minute, the accused reached the victim's study and the room on the terrace, and he exited the house at approximately 7:22 in the morning. Now, in between these 60-odd minutes, a verbal confrontation had begun over money matters. The situation then escalated into direct physical violence, with the victim being struck with a blunt object. Postmortem has revealed this as well. Now, the severe head injuries had been inflicted and the victim attempted to resist. The strangulation began using a mobile charger cable that was found inside the house. The victim had collapsed and was rendered unconscious. The victim's body was moved and a biometric locker was forcibly accessed after a failed fingerprint attempt. Cash and jewelry were removed. Within 60 minutes, the residents had shifted from a quiet home and a study room of sorts for a UPSC aspirant into a full and a complete crime scene. Let me go across to my colleague Priyank, who will get us all these details as well. Now, Priyank, the crime has been reconstructed by the authorities as well. They've managed to accumulate CCTV footage. They've also, of course, managed to gather a whole lot of other evidence as well. The victim has been examined, and the criminal in this particular case has been apprehended. This is a grisly crime because this happened in a very posh locality. There were CCTV cameras that have been posted at strategic points on the road of this particular residence, but questions are also now being asked as to whether or not this particular criminal who had very dubious antecedents himself, had actually undergone a police verification process, whether that kind of a due diligence had been done. What are the details emerging?
See, Siddharth, this story is very important because this is how India lost its talented daughter who wanted to serve the country. You can imagine she was a student of a very prominent school here in the national capital, and then she got admission in IT's computer science department, which is a very rare occasion where female students have managed to get that too on the first go. Then she was preparing for her UPSC. The family used to stay not too far away from this location where we are standing right now. Then 2 years back, they shifted to this high-rise apartment. They shifted to the third floor of this particular house, and above that, there was a study room also. That was a possible reason because of which they moved here. And around early in the morning, while the victim was studying, this accused came saying that I have been called by auntie, and that means her mother, and she was supposed to pay some money to them. When the confrontation started, Siddharth, he took off one of the lamps.
Right, I just need to interrupt you there for a moment, Priyank. There's an electoral update coming in, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is speaking.